Today's story is a homeless encampment that I've reported to you live from with 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗧 of 𝗬𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏, and they recently got through cleaning West Canirer Park of 10,000 pounds of trash removed from Seattle Public Park. This is wild stuff. How do we get to a point where there's 10,000 pounds of trash? Let's get into it. Here we go. Oh, including an organ. An organ. A musical organ. Yeah, we're going to see it. Let's watch a quick video. So this is 𝗬𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏. They and a group of volunteers, and they got their big truck. They go out and they do this. And this is volunteers. These people are not paid by the city of Seattle. They're just out there doing this with from the goodness of their heart. Here we go. Look at that. Look at all the wood, the frames they're on, because the ground's wet. It was slippery out there in the middle of winter when I was there. Ugh. I love this time lapse. Yeah. An organ. An organ. Somebody hauled an organ up there. Hey, think we might be able to use this. You can have Sunday. Doesn't that require, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that requires electricity. They got a generator running that they're playing the organ with. I don't even know. Look at that shopping cart. It's like taking 3 people just to drag it out of there. I mean, these people are just so out of their minds that we need an organ in our homeless encampment. Who thinks that that's a thing, right? That's the mentality these people have. And you know what governmental officials say? It's all right, guys, do your thing. Bruce Harrell, and we're going to get into it. Bruce Harrell has been dropping the hammer on homeless encampments, not necessarily shrinking the size of the number of homeless in Seattle. That's not happening. But the number of tents have gone way, way down. We're down to just a couple of hundred tents now, so the stats are claiming. Let's keep going. Nice collection of needles. It's perfect. Look at that. Just look at all those tires. I love this pan-in. Yeah, camping is prohibited. Seattle parks, camping is prohibited. That's a great video. I love that video. This is a beautiful, beautiful part of Seattle. It's just to the north of downtown. It's on a hillside. I mean, it's just, it's one of those quintessential Seattle parks where you just plunk it right in the middle of some just trees and cool stuff and big, huge evergreens. The reason people come to Seattle and just want to look around, you got a lot of trees and you got views and you got homeless people. See here, so far, we're looking clean, looking good. And you look from here, you got an adjoining building here close in. You can't really tell what's going on. That's how close you are to downtown. You got Space Needle, you got the waterfront right here. I mean, 15th Avenue, I think that's right there, Avenue Northwest. Yeah, that is. But here we get into it, all right? Here's your close-up of all this nonsense going on in this treed canopy, right? I mean, and just a big pile of crap that addicts and people that are mentally insane leave behind. They just leave behind. I mean, it's just, it's wild stuff. You'll never know what you find in lush Canirer Park on the west side of Seattle's Queen Anne Hill. 10,000 pounds of trash, said 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 from the outreach group We Heart Seattle, including organs. Well, that's an exaggeration. Only one organ. Un organ. Mattresses. I saw lots of those. Weightlifting equipment. All right. Yep. We saw a barbell. Halloween costumes. Everybody needs that. You live in a tent, you gotta have a costume. Suitcases, couches, ottomans, camping gear, boxing gear. I have literally seen a guy doing the nunchuck thing in Canirer Park. He was doing the nunchuck thing. It was kind of a warmer winter day, and he was doing, and he looked unhinged. And I'm like, just trying to film, and we're going down a steep embankment. And I'm trying not to fall over because I'd fallen over once before. It's wet out there. It's, you're in the woods and you're carrying a camera and you're just, how's this going to go? Over the last week, the organization brought in volunteers to clean up the massive mess. And I texted Andrea and said, hey, are any homeless coming back to the park? And she said, well, it kind of comes and goes. If you don't have somebody standing right on top of it, you're going to have a bunch of people back because this is Seattle. Build it and they will come. And we have done that and they are here and they are not leaving. A lot of it's illegal dumping. It's well-intended donations. We're going to donate this? Yeah. Take it to Canirer Park. Bunch of homeless people, I'll blame them. People hike it up here to make a life for themselves. And what it is, it's a catastrophe, said 𝗧𝗏. I mean, the organ alone, just what are you doing? Every pile of trash in the park has a story, with 𝗧𝗏 explaining the circumstances of several sites. Our understanding is the couple living here refused services from us multiple times. We were told that they found an abandoned RV to move into, so this is clearly their abandoned camp, said 𝗧𝗏. I remember a couple being there when I was there, which was, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so. Can't even remember. There was a couple that was super sick looking. I saw the female and she just looked, she's probably dope sick. I don't know. But, you can't involuntarily commit anybody. So somebody just wants to stay out there and do their dope for free, driving their friends crazy with their life's insanity. They're just going to do their thing, right? And city officials are going to let it happen. This is the result of misguided compassion from Democrat liberal politicians in Seattle. Because you don't find this in other areas of the Pacific Northwest. Other areas that believe in law and order and believe parks are something that your children should be able to play in. You imagine, when they're dragging that organ with the tarp. Imagine having little Johnny and Susie walking down that trail. What do we got going on here? Oh, it's some boxing gloves, and that over there is a used hypodermic needle, and that over there is human excrement. Try not to step in it. We Heart Seattle says one of their cornerstones is setting an example for change through volunteering. And man, if you go to their site, We Heart Seattle, they've got the number of, let's just go there. 1.7 million pounds of trash and 264 people helped off the streets. So these are all volunteers. So they just go out there and do their thing. And at one point in time, the city said, no, you're not an authorized organization. We're not going to allow you to do your thing. And Andrea's had many, many, many haters over the years because the activists, basically Antifa types, right? They don't have anything going on. So they go out there when the sweeps are happening and they try and paint this picture of the homeless having their civil rights taken away. And it's just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. That's not garbage. You can't take that. That's somebody's possessions. And you're like, no, that is a dirty, tattered blanket that looks like to have either mud or what on it. Go ahead and haul it away. I mean, people shouldn't be living like that, right? Actually, most of the volunteers were homeless at one time, and it's really gratifying to see that they have found their way back from addiction homelessness, said volunteer Russ Perkins. The group organizes pop-up cleanups across Seattle. It's tough work, and they say no one should have to do it. I need to do one. I need to go out and do a litter pick. I have not done one. I mean, I know what it's like to pick up garbage. It's not a lot of fun, especially in a homeless encampment. I'm like, okay, do I get steel gloves? What kind of safety protection are we talking, Andrea? No, they just pick it up, and haul it out of there. This should be unlawful. It is unlawful. This is property damage. Yes, that is unlawful. It's vandalism. This is property destruction. This is unlawful, unsanctioned camping, and we need to enforce this type of camping, said 𝗧𝗏, not happening. Destructive camping is happening on land that belongs to all of us, polluting the delicate Pacific Northwest ecosystem and perpetuating an ongoing community crisis. But the volunteers of 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗏 are working to change things from the ground up in a very literal sense. So here's some of the things that happens when you have a constituency that has thousands and thousands of homeless people in. Extremely unsanitary man soils Seattle bus. King County Metro lets him walk. Ah, that's a great one. That's perfect. And that was April 25th, a couple of days ago. How about this one? Seattle police arrest suspect in double stabbing outside downtown homeless shelter. This is in downtown Seattle, 600 block of 3rd Avenue, just down a little bit, a few blocks, 6-7 blocks south of the Blade. You've got the Morrison Hotel there. This is where all of the homeless organizations, the nonprofits, have their housing and their help for homeless people. Well, you got a little stabby stab action going on because that's what happens. Because you got some kind of probably you've got a drug deal gone sideways. Somebody didn't pay up for sex trafficking. Who knows? Somebody didn't pay up for stolen goods. Don't really know. Yeah, solve it with a knife, right? A lot of stabbings going on. How about this one? Seattle breaks records on homeless tents removed, encampments cleared. That's interesting. Now, the number of, Bruce Harrell said in the State of the Address in February, the number of tents was down 80% from 2022. But remember, in 2022, the number of tents had exploded because the CDC said, don't sweep the homeless encampments because they're going to spread the Rona all over and you guys are all going to get the flu. Don't do that. Can't have that. No, get your jab, get triple jabbed because, the first 2 didn't work. So just go out there and get a jab. That's the result of Harrell making good on one of his campaign promises on homelessness while disregarding another. He has followed through on his pledge to keep tents, parks, and public spaces open and clear through a relentless effort to remove tents whenever they appear. He has removed more than 5,000 encampments in his first 3 years. What the mayor didn't say is there's more people living outside than ever, a fact he doesn't contest. You know what's happening? They're just getting pushed deeper and deeper into the forest. To hide from the city's escalating pace of encampment removals, homeless people say they're hiding deeper in the woods where assaults, overdoses, and emergencies can go unnoticed. Also, you're not going to be picked up in the pit count, the point-in-time count in January, because you're hunkered down underneath some, overpass or whatever it is. Some say they're giving up on setting up a tent altogether, leaving them less visible, but more vulnerable to the elements and predators. You know what? The misnomer is that a tent keeps you, safe and from harm's way. A tent is made out of nylon. Just razor knife right through it. It protects nothing. And you know the way that you figure that out is when you're on Camp Whitney and there are bears outside of your tent and you're in a nylon tent. Yeah, Whitney, California. Yeah, that's not where you want to be. Oh, I'm in a tent. This is going to be great. This bear is never going to get through my nylon tent. Yeah, no. Escalating campaign of removal. 2022, Harrell entered office and saw a city full of tents. Seattle hardly moved any. And the first year, Harrell did 800 tents, but now we've got that legislation where the cities feel like they're not going to get sued. So it's drop the hammer. Let's go. Let's clear all this homelessness. Now, one of the places that I follow very closely, because I'm over there all the time, is in Seattle. It's on East Lake. And I'm over there right now, this time of the year. I'm there probably 3 or 4 times a week working on stuff at my boat. And that's where I keep my boat. And there's an area there that has had multiple tents over the years. Now when one pops up, boom, it's gone. Boom, it's gone. The graffiti's still there. They leave graffiti. Graffiti's just horrible. It's just terrible. Terrible. So city officials say that this effort has reduced the number of tents in the city from 1,558, I don't know how they come up with that, to 215. Do I believe the 215? I mean, that seems really low for a city the size of Seattle. 750,000 people, Seattle official. I think that's really low, but whatever. What I will agree with is that there are fewer tents. Fewer tents in the really big, obvious areas. But most of these people, we've lost housing in Seattle. We've lost shelter in Seattle. Funding gets cut. All right. But we've still got that policy. Build it and they will come. And they are here and they're not going home just because their tent got moved. They're doing whatever they need to do. So I think they're hunkered down. Seattle is one of those great cities that, to date has just let people live wherever they want to live. And we've had to deal with it. And now we've got a mayor who's willing to kind of clean things up and go down this road of, all right, we're going to get it somewhat squared away. But the bottom line is that you can't force people into shelter. You can't force people into treatment. You can't force people into a mental institution. And that's where you've got Department of Justice, Trump admin, Department of Justice, brainstorms aggressive tactics to clear homeless people in cities and forcibly hospitalize people, report claims. Justice Department asks employees for ideas on how to more efficiently shift chronic vagrants away from the public square downtown and into a more concentrated space to better deploy services. What does that mean? Well, it means to get them the help that they need. So you want to square away downtown. Now, the whole thing with downtown is they always go to downtown because that's where all the services are. That's where all the NGOs are. That's where all of the nonprofits are that cater to the homeless. Oh, you need a blanket? Here you go. Oh, you need a tent? Here you go. Hey, here's some food. I'll throw a banana at your tent we just gave you. All that kind of thing. You've got that thing going on, but it's only in the downtown core. They don't do a lot of outreach because they don't do a lot of outreach, right? Andrea Suarez going into these parks. That's a lot of, what the only real folks that from the outside that come in, because you're not seeing park officials go into these areas. No, this isn't exactly where they want to be. It's like if city officials, if police aren't going to, enforce the law, which is no camping like we saw, then why would a park official just run in there and, kick people out? They don't. They are involved at times in, different matters. But for the most part, a Seattle, a Portland, a whatever, if the mantra is just let them be, then you've got a huge problem. And Seattle has a massive problem. So does Portland. So now it's a matter of optics. It's which city looks better. Never mind how many actual homeless people we have. Never mind that. But which city looks better? Well, Seattle does look better. It looks way better. Way better. But is that the solution? At some point in time, the rubber's going to hit the road and you're going to realize, oh, we've still got this huge problem. It's no longer in the downtown. Now it's moved just to the peripheral of downtown and you're going to have a bunch of other circumstances you're going to have to deal with. But we don't really see them all that often. Well, that's because they're hunkered down into the hillside. You could see with the canopy shots that I was showing you, you could live forever in these woods. And you literally could. You could, that's how Bigfoot's lived for years, right? Decades, centuries, thousands of years. I don't know. Yeah, probably though, right? I mean, way out in the forest, Bigfoot out there? Probably. I think so. All right. I choose to believe. All right. That's it for me. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.